The victim mindset is quietly killing modern dating. Everyone has wounds. That is part of being human. But adults are responsible for what they do with them. We've all been hurt in some way. By parents, relationships, rejection, loneliness, disappointment. Some far worse than others. That is real, and it matters. But pain cannot become a permanent identity. Victimhood is not depth. It is stagnation. At some point, a healthy adult instinct kicks in. You get tired of suffering. You want to build something instead of explaining everything away. That is where responsibility begins. Blaming the world, society, your partner, or strangers for how you feel keeps you stuck. It avoids growth. It avoids accountability. And it slowly poisons relationships. If you hurt someone and immediately turn it into "I always do everything wrong" or "nothing ever works for me," that is not self-awareness. That is avoidance. You did something wrong. Own it. Reflect. Repair. Move forward. Constant victimhood turns relationships into parent-child dynamics. One person carries the emotional weight, while the others avoids responsibility. That is exhausting. And it does not last. Pain does not make you special. Taking responsibility for your life makes you free. Comments. A lot of this is set in childhood, in my opinion. A lot of parents swoop in on teachers and coaches with excuses to avoid their darlings suffering any consequences, and that's the behavior that was modeled. They also seized any excuse to still avoid accountability in their adult lives. In order for us as a society to move on from this mindset, I believe we have to adjust what we tolerate and reward. Most people who claim victimhood rather than taking responsibility do it because they have been raised to believe that they will be rewarded for their pain with special attention. This disincentivizes meritocracy, and it makes the victims uncomfortable when they're faced with objective merit-based criteria for acceptance. 100%. A sign of maturity is not never having made mistakes. Maturity and growth means that you took accountability for those mistakes and took the time to learn from them in order to avoid making those mistakes again. Playing victims and writing past mistakes off as insignificant is the hallmark of someone who has not learned a thing and is bound to repeat them. Always avoid those people.